you were gonna say a hipster thing about Minecraft.
Oh, right. Well, basically, just, you know, I've been with it for a long time, and so I really appreciate how far it's come, and being just like one of the people who are like, you know, being one of the first people interested in it. Like, I know that there were hundreds and thousands, and I know that I'm not like, you know, one of the first 100. You know what I mean, though?
Yeah,
like,
by then you were still in the newer crowd with the game.
right. And like, I
it
was
hadn't
watching,
quite hit the mainstream like it has.
I was watching videos of it on like break.com when it hit when it came out.
Oh
Or,
jeez.
like when like and break.com's been up for a while, and you know, I was watching like people get like pirated versions of it and playing it and getting, you know, and capturing it on their devices like this now, and it's just like, it's so cool, like seeing that when it happened, like
It was like being there when AVGN first became a thing, which I most certainly wasn't.
I don't know what that means.
You don't know,
say?
like, Angry Video Game Nerd? Like, one of the first couple of people who ever did gaming shows online? Like, kind of like this, I guess? Like, one of the first people to review games online in that sort of fashion?
No, is that where Angry Joe comes from?
No, no.
No, I don't like Angry Joe.
It's
I know
this
you
guy
say
with
you do like him,
glasses.
but,
No, Angry Joe, from an informative stance, is pretty good. He's good at explaining things, but I don't get any entertainment out of watching his stuff.
he seems just too picky for me. Like, okay, so he did a Two Worlds review, and don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna say Two Worlds was
Isn't complete shit?
but it's, he said it was like unplayable. It just wasn't something that he would enjoy at all.
Look, if
like,
it weren't Two Worlds, I may disagree, but I've played a bit of Two Worlds in my day. Like, I have to beat the game for my review, and I find myself to agree with Angry Joe in that respect. It feels horrible. It feels like it's not even a thing.
Well, okay, so I didn't beat it, alright? I probably played about 20 minutes of it, and then just got bored. But
I've played 6 hours of that game. It is borderline
still
unplayable.
playable.
It's
It-
playable
it
in the most meager of sense of aspects.
Hold on, I got bad rain going on.
It is playable as E.T. for the Atari 2600. In that sense.
Do you like documentaries?
I've seen a couple in my day. I don't mind documentaries.
There was a really good documentary about the E.T. game called Game Over. It's on Xbox, like it's its own app. It's a good little watch. Like, I'm not a huge movie person either. Like,
Oh, speaking of
binge
movies in the E.T. game, AVGN, who I mentioned earlier, who it's weird that you've not heard of, he actually has made a full-budget movie, and E.T. was a premiere feature in it. Like the game.
oh. Alright, I think we're about ready for our Brave Void. Oh, shoot.
Yeah, it's nighttime. But, okay, you were saying that Angry Joe, we were talking about him, trying to get back on subject.
Nothing really. Just necessarily, like, it was just that he just seems really harsh on his reviews. Like, unnecessarily harsh. Like, I don't know. Just my opinion.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of his reviews, and he's a bit hard on games, I guess. But it's
And I understand
angry
that
is
some
in the
people
title
like
of
that
the show.
in a review, where they pick out all the bad stuff. But, like, I mean, It may just be that I've grown a tolerance towards bad games.
You have, I think. From being on the indie market so much, they have corrupted you.
Just about to say that. Well, alright, so, but you gotta understand, like, you almost have to be, if you wanna, like...
If you want to get any enjoyment out of these indie games, you kind of have to be tolerant to that stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, a lot of times they'll have bugs, and I know Two Worlds was full of glitches and bugs, and just oversights. And that's the main problem with a lot of these indie games. And that's what Two Worlds was. I mean, it was, and is still, an indie development company.
Yeah, but, I mean, it's so bad. I have seen indie-developed games that are great. I've seen games made by quite small companies that are excellent in quality and playability and aren't very buggy at all. And even the ones that are very buggy aren't complete and absolute horseshit. But having played Two Worlds for 6 hours now, I'll have to say that it is horrible. It is the worst game I have ever played, bar none.
Well, I don't know. It just seems like he's just way too harsh on most games.
I have played Eat Lead: The Return of Max Hazard, and that game felt great after I'd played Two Worlds.
I mean, even Kingdoms of Amalur, like, even
Kingdoms
though
of Amalur
did, like,
is actually pretty good.
It is a really good game. I think that's
he was very kind to that game, I think.
Well, compared to some of his reviews, yeah.
But that game had a lot of stuff to be nice about. It had good combat.
Yeah, it really did. It was very, very varied.
Like, the quality in that game was... It jumped a bit from subject to subject. I found a cave.
Oh, well, don't go in that. That's bad. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not quite healthy yet.
Yeah, it's west of our house. Well, no. Yeah, I think west.
Alright, so I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna make next for our trip.
But what were you gonna say about Kingdoms of Amalur?
He just seemed kind of harsh on it, like, a little too harsh.
Yeah, maybe, but there was a lot of stuff about that game that was pretty dumb. Like, other than the combat, it has very few redeeming qualities.
The lore, I mean, oh my gosh. Like, the lore is so...
Terrible?
It's so in-depth. No, it's in-depth. I know it seems a bit, like, cliche.
It is the cliche. That is what it is. The lore is bad. Going really deep into something bad just means you have a deep bad thing. It's like having a pool full of diarrhea. Sure,
well,
it's 20 feet deep, but it's not any better than having a cup full of diarrhea, other than your neighbors are very confused at how you got that much feces into your backyard.
But it's impressive.
For what Kingdoms of Amalur is, I guess the lore is pretty good, but it wasn't written well by any means. It's better than what the game deserves, I guess.
Well, then again, R.A. Salvatore wrote it, and R.A. Salvatore was kind of what defined a lot of fantasy lore. I mean, there was Tolkien, of course, but
well, yeah,
R.A. Salvatore, I mean, when you think of anti-heroes, and you think of people who are like...
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess if it was written by him, it makes more sense, because he made all the cliches of fantasy.
Right, alright.
Like, so, almost all of them stem from his work, so I guess it's a bit more sensible.
Name an R.A. Salvatore character.
I don't remember any.
Okay. There is.
It's like trying to remember the name of a Stephen King character for me.
Okay, so the Drow, his most famous Drow, Drizzt or Drizzt or whatever, is an anti-hero, or like he's like a not necessarily a good guy, but he's against his race, which is like a bad guy race, the Dark Elves or the Drow, and so he's like super cliche, like I am a hero, and it's not expected. So like, and you hear that everywhere. But R.A. Salvatore was one of the people to kind of coin that for fantasy.
Yeah. His writing is for lore writing for a modern game. It's a bit out of date, let's say.
Okay, so here's something we need. All right, we need gold pieces, a wood plank, a chest, coal, carbon, gold, iron, diamond, and flint.
Oh, okay.
So let me see. Wood plank, chest, and iron we have. So, we actually don't even have any iron ore, unless you mine. Oh, we did. Okay, good. So I'm gonna put that up there. I'm gonna put the wood plank there. What else? We have coal.
Oh, but earlier I was talking about how weapons. I don't like it in games when weapons feel like they're flaccid. You know, they don't feel like they pack much punch. That was one of my main gripes with Two Worlds, that it forces combat on you constantly, your enemies take shit tons of damage, and your weapons don't feel like anything. Like you're hitting them with just nothing, like air. Until, I don't know why, but there was a weird spike in the quality of items you can get, and now I am suddenly unkillable. Like, I have Ornstein's spear and Havel the rock armor, and I am unbeatable.